Mira lived on the edge of a vast, mysterious forest. Her grandmother had always warned her to stay away from it, telling tales of people who disappeared under the moonlight, never to return. One evening, as Mira sat by her window watching the full moon rise, she noticed something unusual. A faint, silvery glow appeared among the trees, shimmering like a beacon. Curiosity tugged at her heart. She opened the window, letting the cool night air brush against her face. That's when she saw it, a delicate, golden envelope lying on the windowsill. Her hands trembled as she opened it, revealing an invitation written in elegant script. "You are cordially invited to the midnight dance. Follow the moonlight." Despite her grandmother's warnings, Mira felt an irresistible pull. She wrapped a shawl around her shoulders and stepped into the forest. The forest was alive with the soft rustling of leaves and the occasional hoot of an owl. Mira followed the silvery glow, her steps light yet deliberate. As she ventured deeper, the trees seemed to part for her, creating a natural path illuminated by patches of moonlight. Fireflies danced around her, their golden light adding to the surreal beauty of the night. Soon, she reached a clearing. In the center was a magnificent oak tree, its branches adorned with glowing orbs that looked like tiny moons. Beneath the tree stood a figure cloaked in shadows, holding a silver lantern. "You came," the figure said, its voice smooth and melodic. Mira hesitated. "Who are you?" The figure stepped forward, revealing a tall man with piercing green eyes and a gentle smile. "I'm Elias," he said. "Welcome to the moonlit forest." Elias extended his hand. "Shall we?" Mira blinked. "Shall we? What?" He smiled, his hand still outstretched. "Dance." Before she could respond, the clearing transformed. The glowing orbs on the tree pulsed rhythmically, and soft, enchanting music filled the air. Drawn by the magic of the moment, Mira placed her hand in his. As they moved together, it felt as though the world around them melted away. The ground beneath them shimmered, and the stars above seemed to sway to the melody. "You're a natural," Elias said, spinning her gently. Mira laughed, feeling lighter than she had in years. But as the music slowed, a question formed in her mind. "Why did you invite me here?" Elias looked at her, his gaze both kind and mysterious. "You'll see soon enough." As the music faded, Mira noticed other figures emerging from the shadows of the trees. They were dressed in flowing, ethereal garments that seemed to glow under the moonlight. The figures formed a circle around her and Elias, their movements synchronized as if they were part of the same rhythm. "Who are they?" Mira asked, watching in awe. "They're the guardians of the forest," Elias explained. "Each one has a role to play in preserving its magic." "And what about me?" Mira asked. Elias hesitated. "You're here because the forest chose you." "The forest," she repeated, confused. Elias nodded. "It's alive in ways you can't yet understand. But tonight, you'll discover your part in its story." The circle of dancers stopped abruptly, their glowing forms turning toward Mira. One of them stepped forward, holding a small, silver chalice. "This is your test," the figure said in a melodic voice. "Drink, and the forest will reveal its truth to you." Mira looked at Elias, her heart racing. "What happens if I drink it?" "You'll see the forest as it truly is," Elias said softly. "But it's not a choice to take lightly. Only those with pure intentions can withstand its truth." Mira hesitated, her thoughts racing. She didn't understand everything that was happening, but deep down, she knew she couldn't walk away. Taking a deep breath, she accepted the chalice and drank. The world around her shimmered and shifted, the forest's secrets beginning to unfold. As Mira drank from the chalice, the forest around her dissolved into a kaleidoscope of light and shadow. She felt weightless, as if floating in a dream. Images began to form, fragments of the forest's history. She saw trees sprouting from the ground, their roots entwining to form a vast, living network. Animals roamed freely, their spirits glowing faintly, connected to the forest's magic. Then came the darker visions, humans cutting down trees, fire spreading and the forest's light dimming. But in each vision of destruction, there was always a figure, a protector restoring balance. Mira realized these figures were the guardians she had danced with earlier. Their presence kept the forest alive. The last image she saw was herself, standing beneath the ancient oak tree, the glowing orbs above her shining brighter than ever. "The forest has chosen you," a voice whispered. Mira blinked, finding herself back in the clearing. The circle of dancers stood silently, their eyes glowing softly. Elias stepped forward, his expression serious. "You saw it, didn't you?" he asked. Mira nodded. "The forest, it's alive. And it's hurting." Elias placed a hand on her shoulder. "Every generation, the forest chooses someone to protect it, to keep its magic alive. It's chosen you." Mira's heart raced. "But why me? I'm just ordinary." "There's nothing ordinary about someone who listens to the call," Elias said with a smile. The circle of dancers began to hum softly, their movements creating waves of light that flowed toward Mira. She felt a warmth spreading through her chest, as if the forest's essence was becoming a part of her. As the light enveloped her, Mira felt a deep connection to the forest. She could sense every tree, every creature, and every whisper of the wind. "It's beautiful," she said, her voice trembling. Elias nodded. "This bond will guide you. You'll feel what the forest feels, know its needs, and protect its balance." "But what does being a guardian mean?" Mira asked. Elias gestured to the glowing orbs above. "You'll ensure the forest's magic is never lost. You'll help those who enter with pure hearts and guide them to find their truths." "And you?" Mira asked. "What's your role?" Elias hesitated, then said, "I was the forest's guardian before you. But now my time is over. The light has passed to you." The music began again, soft and melodic, filling the clearing with a sense of peace. The circle of dancers moved gracefully, their glowing forms creating patterns of light. Elias extended his hand to Mira once more. "One last dance, as a farewell." Mira took his hand, her heart heavy yet filled with gratitude. They moved together, their steps fluid and in harmony with the music. As they danced, Mira noticed Elias's form becoming more transparent, his glow fading. "Wait," she said, her voice breaking. "What's happening?" "My time is done," Elias said gently. "But I'll always be a part of the forest, and so will you." Tears streamed down Mira's face as Elias's form dissolved into the light, becoming one with the forest. The next morning, Mira woke beneath the ancient oak tree, the forest bathed in golden sunlight. The glowing orbs above her pulsed softly, as if greeting her. She stood, feeling a new sense of purpose. The forest whispered to her now, its voice clear and steady. Mira walked back to her cottage, but this time, the forest no longer felt like a mystery. It was her home, her responsibility. Every evening, under the light of the full moon, she would return to the clearing, where the dancers appeared to honor the magic of the forest. And though Elias was gone, Mira could still feel his presence in every leaf, every breeze, and every beam of moonlight. The forest had chosen her, and she vowed to protect it, knowing that its magic would endure as long as she listened to its call.